Hello, everybody, and welcome to session 3 of Printweaver Journey, a game using the Printweaver system by N.L. Morrison. I am your game master, Mare, and I use they, she pronouns, and I'd love my cast to introduce themselves, please, starting with Lamar.
Top of the morning to you, lads, lasses, both and neither. My name is Lamar, the con guy, and I am playing the ever so lovable and completely sane Kaida.
Glyza.
Hey everyone, my name is Glyza. I go by they them. I am playing today I'm playing Ira. Uh they've died, but it's worth it. And they have no stuff, but it's okay. So yeah.
And last, Vin.
Hi guys, I'm Vin at VinVoxV on Twitter. My pronouns are he, they, and I'll be playing Stiff, and we be dying.
Aki could not join us today, but it's her birthday, so everyone go please wish them happy birthday on Twitter. Happy birthday! And I believe we have had Ira, or I don't know if it's in character or not, but Ira / Glyza doing our last session recap.
I can only do recaps in character.
Perfect.
So it's gonna be very much one-sided. All right. So last week, a couple of us died. You could say like 3/4 of us died. It started first with Stiff. It may have been my fault, but I won't really claim it because there was a moose. Stiff was around. Stiff tried to protect me or something like that. But anyway, Stiff sort of died after being trampled by a Canadian moose. And then before Stiff died, Stiff was like, go on without me, but less dramatic because it's Stiff. Stiff isn't dramatic. It's, it's them. That's how they do. And then we decided to go, and we saw this while we were walking, there was like a big swoop of air, I think. Yes. And Kaida's bird, Shibu, sort of like got flown away. Maybe, I don't know. But we did discover that Shibu has a little, belt buckle on Kaida's shoulder, and that was like the cutest thing ever. And then we met an old lady in the woods with like mushrooms around. Do not eat mushrooms; they're really, really bad for you. And I was able to write a letter to my dearest, sweetest friend. That's right. We're just friends. Anyway, and we decided, and we heard about like all of these monsters that were, well, not all, it's two of them. One was named Scarlet and one was named Blue. When Wander felt Blue, we thought it was just like a really cute orca or a whale, and we were all, well, I was very excited. I was very excited to see this very, very amazing monster. And it did not disappoint. We did see the monsters, and we were getting into it's not really a fight because they weren't fighting us, they were fighting each other. Scarlet, the big, beautiful, beautiful bird, and this Leviathan sort of creature that swam around in the metal forest. It was gorgeous. They were both super pretty. And we were trying to not get killed, but they did, however, get Wander. And I saw what was the greatest opportunity of all time to ride a flying creature. Unfortunately, in my attempt to ride the flying creature, it flew away too fast, so I ended up riding the Leviathan instead, and sort of rode it till it was worth it. Basically, I came back to the old lady in the mushroom house, and I lost everything, but that's okay. It happens. I did write Mara a letter to send me some stuff. And now I think we are headed to meet up with me and Wander are headed up to meet Kaida and hopefully Stiff at the end of our journey past the Metal Forest. Which, by the way, when we went there, it's kind of like all the water is gone. So I hope Blue is okay. I know I don't have I know other people don't have the same sentiment, but I really hope Blue is okay. And also Scarlet. I really want to ride Scarlet on a fly.
Thank you. As a reminder for everybody, the character art on screen was created by @SadiaBees on Twitter. Absolutely beautiful. And if you want to help, if you want to just tip us or donate us or give us advantages or the player's magic items, you can also do. You can donate to our Pally. And with that, we are going to get started. I actually want to backtrack a little bit and touch upon some of the stuff that did happen between sessions, which part of was what you just talked about and some of our other characters. So for the audience between sessions, we had to resolve the people who's died items and how they were going to get back and how we were going to reconvene with the party. Wander and Ira, when they left Valaire's hut again and had made their way towards the Metal Forest, almost the entire water was drained away for some unknown reason or unknown means. Ira and Wander, you did not see either Scarlet or Blue anywhere. You didn't even hear either of them. It was very quiet. So no animals, but the fact that you didn't hear any is likely that they were still around, just not in your vicinity as you made your way across. Wander was able to find their items as they were completely skewered by one of Scarlet's steel-like feathers. And when the two of you went to go collect them, you saw that the weavings that they received from the children back in Well Hollow, a couple of them unraveled and tangled with their pack to the feather to keep their belongings from being swept away. However, Ira, as you were joy riding a kaiju, you do not. You were. You do not know exactly where you died, and there are a complex of tunnels underneath this area, and with the water, you don't know where they are. You lost everything except with what you were revived with at Valaire's place, unfortunately. And when you left and sent that final letter to Mara asking, hey, can you send me a pack? You have not heard anything from her, unfortunately. Kaida, you went through the rest of the Metal Forest alone with only Shibu as company, as you are wont to do before you met up with this group and continued on together. It is about a day through the Metal Forest, and eventually you leave it. And in the distance, you see a city. A majority of the places in this world are small hamlets, towns, but this is one of the largest settlements you have ever seen. There are intricate matrices of stone arching above the entire city, weaving throughout each other, and they glow slightly. What are you doing?
Other than fighting his general fear of too many people, Kaida's going to just kind of stop for a second to take a deep breath and see if he can feel the ink pulling him in a particular direction. Or if that doesn't happen, he just wants to find maybe the biggest end or gathering place, because that's where his friends would probably go.
Sure. The ink, you do feel it. It doesn't specifically lead you towards this settlement. It still leads north, but it's nearby where you're supposed to, in the direction you're supposed to be going. This is slightly to the northwest, but it's a good place to stop. It's not exactly where you need to go, but since you are separated, you can do so.
His friends all met up at a tavern, so I guess that'd probably be the best place to go. So he'll find the nearest Motel 24, and he won't even talk to anybody. He'll just like sit down at a chair.
As you enter the city, there is a stone carved out in front of it, and it just says 2 words: Vale Point. The front entrance, closest to this entry to the town, is actually the location of a bustling and colorful market with many stalls of people hawking wares. You continue on, looking for an inn, and the one closest is a fairly large inn called the Traveler's Rest, where you can sit down, get a room, drink food, however you'd like.
Approximately what time of the day is it at this point?
I'd say early afternoon.
Cool. Kind of walk in, and do as he said before. He won't talk to anybody. He'll just kind of like sit down and then like unbuckle Shibu so that they can hang on his finger.
Shibu will give you a little preening in your hair before hopping onto your finger and joining you for potentially lunch, maybe a drink, but definitely rest.
Yeah, definitely rest, and Kaido will begin to like just start monologuing what's in his head. It's like, almost died there. That was pretty bad. The other 2 didn't make it, but I think they weed Prince as well. So they should be back at some point, unless they went to go find their stuff. Then they might be dead again, which would then exacerbate the amount of time that it takes for them to get back to me, which means I'm gonna have to spend more time here. And this is a lot of things. Like, there's people here, and that's I was told by a priestess to be fine, to experience such things. But sometimes I don't want to be around people. I like to be around, I like you, Shibu. You're cool. And I like to be around myself. And I like to be around trees. But people and things like that, this is not natural. Did you know that cities are generally born over death and destruction of many years of political and violent intrigue from the social and political economic powerhouses of the century? So every time there's a city around, it just means that someone killed enough people that everyone around will agree that they own the place, and I don't think that's very nice. It's just...
Whether you notice this or not, but for everybody else in the audience, there is a patron also of this inn, like just drinking out of a tankard, like nodding along as you say this in agreement.
You are correct.
You're not incorrect, sir. By the way, my name is Reginald Pennybottom. I own this town. What?
So as you rest, we're gonna go to Stiff. Stiff, you got killed by a moose. And you woke up back at Well Hollow, where Mara revived you, weaving your body back together with nothing except your body and your rings, nothing else. And she handed you a cloth and a spare set of clothes. Throughout this, you rested, and you were given some time to recuperate. And before you left, she handed you a bag and a spear with some words and let you go on your way. Do you want to tell us about where you were going and what was happening? And we can maybe go through a little bit of what happened on your travels.
Well, surprisingly enough, Stiff didn't abandon the peanut gallery and was trying to find other way back to the group. Ended up traveling north and Instead of going through the middle forest, I'm taking a detour.
It's a little
And
faster.
it was, yes. And the sensations, though not necessarily unpleasant, they were annoying. The dust and debris and have you, irritating their senses. But they remember seeing one of their kills, as it were, carrying their head in their arms and a gaze that was quite hot.
As you are traveling through this old tunnel lined with 2 metal tracks at the bottom, this man followed you, quiet, angry, for at least half of your trip. When you do eventually leave this tunnel, you come out into a small glade and a city with these overarching glowing stones over it in the distance.
And we're gonna trust our gut and our ink.
As you head into this city, you do see the same thing that I described to Kaida earlier. One of the only big difference between what I described to him and what I described to you is you feel a sharp, hard gaze on you. One that is not unfamiliar to ones that you have given people that have been a target. But no moves are made. But you do feel eyes as you walk through this city.
Well, there isn't any coins in their hands, no promises or declarations, so they're just gonna leave it alone.
And there is a large inn called the Traveler's Rest, where you find Kaida and Shibu. He seems to be having a very intense conversation with the canary.
Gonna peer over, just
Stiff, you're not your name anymore. Hi, Stiff. Welcome. You okay?
who are you talking to?
Shibu. Shibu? Stiff. Stiff, Shibu. You
Shibu
guys met
whistles.
before, right?
We've been acquainted, I think. I'm sorry. The pleasure is all mine. And just like this kind of bow for the little bird.
Kaida smiles and says, Shibu, what do you say? Over here, like a chip chip. Very good. And allows Shibu to get back onto their little perch. Stiff, you would notice that on his shoulder buckler, where his arm is covered by a kind of a cape-like thing, there's a small, like, seat-looking thing. If you wasn't looking for it, you wouldn't miss it. And there's a buckle to keep Shibu secured when there's a lot of movement and needs to keep him with him. So it allows Shibu to get right back onto there. And he goes, welcome to a village of probably violence. Have you seen the others yet?
I was about to ask you the same thing. I haven't seen either of them. Then again, I just got here, so my view's been limited.
Well, the wild one attempted to pacify a creature I will call a kaiju, which that attempt failed predictably. And then Wanderer wandered into death.
I see. So there is the possibility that we are the only two alive at the moment.
Correct. But I did not die, so that is the
Then-
most important thing.
Congratulations on not dying. I hope it's painless the next time you do.
Dying always hurts.
Where... Oh, we'll make it less painful, I promise. The more you do it, the less painful it becomes, I suppose. We should wait here.
Yes, we shall wait here. I believe they do have food and drink and probably rooms, and then people who will probably either try to talk to you, steal your money, or stab you. But none of that has happened yet. People tend to not talk to large, dark-skinned people who talk to birds. It causes concern.
You don't concern me.
Oh, sorry.
And I mean that in the most positive way possible.
Well, thank you very much, Steph. You do concern me, but not like in a "you're going to kill me" kind of way. In more of the, you should probably also talk to a priestess about your mental damage.
And I mean, you are my least concern as in you don't worry me, if that makes sense. You don't terrify me. Perfect.
Thank you. I try not to be terrifying unless I have to be.
I found it very hard to believe. We should find rooms. Have things prepared for when they come, if they come.
Yes. Do you mind talking to the people, or should I attempt?
Maybe you should fix your bird buckle. I'll talk.
Oh yes, thank you. He'll immediately go just start thinking.
When you go to inquire about rooms, you are met with a large Roman man with an apron and a missing hand looking at you. May I help you?
I need 4 rooms, please.
Be gold per night. You were also given
Understood.
some gold, by the way, as well, Stiff, from Mara.
Gotcha.
Yeah. I just, gold isn't the main currency in the system, so it's just been a hand wave, if that's all right with everyone.
Yeah, that's fine.
I was just about to say, oh no.
Where's our gold? I don't have gold.
Oh, we'll make some gold. Don't worry about it. If that was the case.
I have ink.
But
I
for
have ink and a sword.
so basically 1 gold per room per night. So for 4 rooms, 4 gold per night.
Gotcha.
Not bad.
And he'll
Probably
slide.
cover like 3 days worth.
Okay, perfect. 3 days. He'll hand you 4 keys and then begin pouring another pint of ale for another customer. Ira, you and Wander finish making your way through the metal forest and eventually come out about the same area that Kaida did. And you see the city in the distance. The ink does lead off. It kind of veers north, but if anyone is going to be anywhere, your companions would be there. When you arrive, Wander is immediately distracted by this bustling bazaar, and they veer off from you, saying that they will meet up with you later. And they are immediately caught by they're immediately talking to a myriad of, like, to them, interesting people, and their attention is on some unique looking weapons. As you continue in, one thing does catch your eye. There are a couple of robed figures with vials of ink just outside the bazaar, and they are chanting. And you eventually see this ink flow upward, beginning to glow, and onto these arches covering the entire city.
I'm impressed by this, and I'm going to stare at it for a little bit. And I'm going to approach one of the robed figures, and I'm going to go, I'm new to this whole traveling thing. What are you guys doing?
The woman who answers you is a mousy brown, glasses woman, and with a clink, as she's putting the stopper on this vial, you do notice that her hands are also covered in print marks. Oh, we're sorry. The protections. We're strengthening them on the city, so monsters don't come in and,
Right.
It's a little different here than other places I know, but it's experimental. And it's doing well so far. We just need to refresh them every couple days.
Of course. I haven't seen this kind of thing, but on the other hand, this is my first travel sort of situation. So there may be other people that do this thing. They definitely don't do this back at home, but this is pretty. You should be proud.
Thank you. We all work very, very hard to keep this place safe. And she holds out a hand to you. Hi, I'm Kozis.
Ira.
You just arrived. Are you looking for the local shrine?
Yes, but also I'm looking for my friends who should have come here. So maybe the shrine, and maybe like a place travelers usually would go to, if you don't mind me asking.
Of course. And she like moves some of her hair out of her face, and it's like brown and slightly gray. She's about middle age. There is the shrine maiden Merban is north past the Traveler's Rest, which is an inn. So if they're gonna be anywhere, maybe check the inn. And then Merban's place is actually just a hole in the ground. Like you'll see
An actual hole in the ground?
Yeah, it's like, I don't know why they have it like that, but it's just a cylindrical hole, and there's stairs on the inside. It's very, very noticeable. It's very colorful when you go there.
That is quite interesting. I'm very excited to go see this shrine. Well, it was wonderful to meet you. Thank you for sharing information about
Of course.
the art. It's very pretty.
And it's safe. I'm glad to be of any help. I hope your travels go well.
It's been going great so far. It's been the best.
I hope you have a nice day.
You too. And I do make my way to the inn and see if anybody is waiting there or whatever.
Kaida and Stiff, have you stayed in like the common area?
Oh yeah, Kaida's still finicking with the buckle, even though there's nothing wrong with it. Waiting for Stiff to get back.
Yeah. Good. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, if you were both in the common room, Ira will make a straight line for both of you and go, "Hello, friends. I'm here."
Hello.
Congratulations.
Oh yeah. Did Kaida tell you I rode a giant serpent-like creature?
Yes, I was too busy thinking about being trampled to be amazed. But I do have something for you from the Hollow.
Oh! For Mara?
And
Oh!
they nod, and it gives you some packages.
I got some packages for Mara.
Also, Kaida, I'm assuming you gave Stiff back their crap.
Yes. Oh yeah, my bad.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
So you
I
have
forgot
all
that I
of
had
your
that.
stuff.
He pulls out from under his cape your stuff.
Your things. My things.
Ira, Stiff hands you one of your packs, actually.
My favorite.
And inside is a sturdy pair of shoes and your clothes, not just random clothes that were given to you by a print weaver. There is a sleeping roll, 5 torches, some water skins and rations. There's only like 1 left, because that was for you and Stiff. A spear. They hand you the spear that it was holding, and there are 2 vials on the inside.
Oh, nice.
For your reference, one of the vials is 100 drops of ink.
Ooh.
The other one is ink armor.
Ink what?
Armor.
Oh, nice.
I can get you the stats for that later, but maybe during break, but it's seraph armor. And also a letter with your name on it.
I immediately open it.
All right. 1 second. In Mara's neat handwriting, it says the following. My dearest and enthusiastic Ira, it is lovely to hear from you. I'm glad you are mostly safe and that your travels are going as well as they can. If you're reading this, it means Stiff has made it to you, hopefully unscathed. Though you've only been gone for several days, Well Hollow is darker without your smile. When you return, I promise to tell you about some of my younger days before I settled in the tower and established my shrine. I hope Valere didn't tell too many embarrassing stories about me. As requested in your most recent letter, I've sent one of your spare packs with Stiff. It also has a spear and new armor for you, just in case you're unable to retrieve the ones you've lost. I'm sorry I couldn't send you more, but I'm expecting brand new travelers to arrive in my shrine soon, and they need to receive their own gifts. Please be careful. Love, Mara.
Oh, she said love, you guys. Did you see that? I mean, she said love. Oh,
I'm imagining this, you're just saying this out loud and they haven't even read the read the letter.
she said love. Oh, I like her a lot. She's very cool. Anyway, that was worth it. We should visit the shrine if you guys are, all settled in.
Oh yeah, traveling all the way back to the nice little lady in the middle of the forest would probably be a bit of a pain in the ass, especially if we're past those kaiju again.
Well, I didn't see them on my way, so there might be like relaxing somewhere else.
That did not bring me joy.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it would bring you joy.
No, because it means now I don't know where they are.
Oh.
Anyway, to the shrine?
To the shrine.
To the shrine.
Ira.
We're just such charismatic team.
Honestly, just God.
God. We're like the emo kids from South Park.
Ira, I'm assuming you're leading the way to the shrine since you're the only one that has a general idea of where you're going. So the streets of this city are actually fairly wide, lined with shops. There is that market that I mentioned earlier, but there are some more established shops that have like buildings and shop fronts as well. You see some general weapons stores, just general stores, coopers, weavers, clothing, etc. But past all these, you eventually come to a set of stairs in front of a large cylindrical pit. And you can't see down into it right away because like hooked up from like edge to edge and side to side is just a myriad of cloth in a variety of bright colors and patterns just hanging it. So you can't really look down into it. But this is what Kozes was talking about when that the print weaver lived in a pit. But there are stairs leading off into this that circle out of sight around the perimeter, going deeper.
Shall we go deep?
Into the hole.
After you.
All right, well, I'm gonna go, and then I just sort of like lead them both down.
After
And
them.
the name of the shrine person here is Mervin.
Merben. Merben.
Mervin.
Merben.
As I'm going down, I'm trying to look for Mervin, and if I don't see him or them, I just go, "Hello."
This pit is actually pretty deep. And as the farther you go down, the colder it is. It's hard to see how deep it is because these fabrics are hanging like layers upon layers. But in general, by the time you reach the bottom, it's probably like 30 to 40 feet deep. So several stories. But as you go down, it gets colder and you see this fabric. And as you go farther and farther, you see that some of these pieces of fabric are hanging limply, not spread across the sides. Some are torn and ripped, and it is very quiet. And when you reach the bottom, you all feel that once again, that little back shiver, that little blips that kind of resets you to a shrine. Stiff and Kaida, this is familiar. Ira, this is only the second time that this has happened to you since this is your first journey.
When that happens, I go, "Whew, I like that. That's fun."
But you get to the bottom where you see a table, a well of just a well, like that you would get water from. It has no cover, but there is a bucket with a rope attached to it and such. But you don't see the print weaver of this shrine.
Oh. It's empty. Does this usually happen when you visit a shrine in a different place?
No. No, there's normally some type of priest, priestess, pretense, something like that, around to help.
Yeah, this is very odd. Stiff and Kaida.
Luckily, we don't need assistance, but this is peculiar.
I'm going to look around and be nosy just to see if I see anything.
Okay. So specifically for this episode in general, since everyone has very poor wisdom, if you
I don't know about you, but
You have
I
two.
don't think my wisdom is that low.
okay,
I mean,
that's fair.
Mer, I do want you to know that Kaido was going to try to drink from the well at some point.
Okay, that's fine. So you know what? I'll get back to what I was going to say later. Ira, look around, please.
I
can
will.
Roll me a wisdom perception type task. You can roll your wisdom, and then if you want to add points to it, you can.
That's will, right?
That is will.
All right. It's 2 out of like whatever is not bad.
2
It's
out of 10?
something. Yeah.
20% of what you could have rolled went to will points.
Exactly. Let's roll that.
Let me know how many successes.
All right. So successes 1.
6 or
Like-
higher.
6. Yeah, I just got 1 success.
Okay. These aren't hard checks, so you see this pretty easily. You see splashes of ink. Like splashes, like spurts around the floor of the well and one of the nearby walls and chairs. You, Ira, out of all people, since your best friend is a print weaver, know that print weavers don't have red blood. Their blood is ink.
Oh, god damn it.
Kaida.
Go on. Yeah, sorry.
Sorry. Stiff, do you want to do anything first before I get to Kaida?
Before Kaido.
No, go. We need to see this.
Okay.
Yeah, well, before Kaido drinks the print weaver, let's go.
Kaida, I'm assuming, take this bucket and throw it into the well.
Mm-hmm.
As you throw this bucket and look down, you do see a body.
Is this a not moving body?
It is a not moving body. It's belly down body. In the well, which is all ink, by the way. This well is not water. It is ink.
Okay.
Hey, I think somebody died here.
Yeah. Ira, can you look over? Take care of Shibu really quick, and he'll just like put Shibu like on. Yeah. Thank you very much. Take off his cape and
Shibu?
stuff like that.
Can you talk actually? Because I've seen kind of talk to you a lot, and I was just wondering if you actually talk back. I could be your friend too. I mean, I'm not gonna try to ride you. I'm not gonna try to ride you because you're like tiny, but you can ride me all the time whenever you want.
Oh my god.
Kaida's gonna be like, phrasing. Steph, come here, please. As he's like taking off, he takes off like his cape and any of the important parts of his armor and stuff like that, and his weapon. There is a body down there. I'm going to go retrieve it.
Are you sure you don't want me to go down there? Not to make any insult to your size, but I can just go in easier.
I believe in you then.
Keep Ira distracted.
Oh yeah.
Here's your bird back.
No, actually, I need you to keep Shibu for a second. Ira, they need a good friend. Also, you can teach them about all your exploits of riding big, dangerous animals, so that they can also learn how to avoid that. Anyway,
That's fun.
As
Basically, what Shibu is doing. I mean, not that you're a dangerous animal. I'm just saying that they're basically riding you all the time.
Do I need to roll?
For what? To get
Do
down.
I need to roll to get down? Yeah.
Yeah, you're gonna have to roll a little bit. So either I will let this be either a dex or a strength, depending on how you want to word it. Both would be applicable in this situation, either trying to worm your way down and not lose your balance, or climbing.
I said that bitch does look like a worm, so let's do that. Let's get some dex in.
Okay. Let me know how many successes you have as I get my cheat sheets in front of me, please.
Hot diggity. 3 successes.
Yeah, you
Not
can
bad.
easily make your way down, retrieve the body, and climb. It's a little awkward, but you can retrieve the body and bring it back up.
Kaida will help
So,
get like the last bits.
The body that you pull out is a short-haired, androgynous-looking figure who's been stabbed first, like once in the chest, and a slash on the throat.
Oh my god.
They're bleeding ink, though it's hard to tell how much anymore because print weavers have ink blood, but they were also just thrown into a well of ink. But they are completely covered, blacky ink head to toe. And it does just kind of ooze onto the floor under them.
Out of character question.
Yes.
When print weavers die, they don't come back, right?
You're not sure.
Okay.
Just about to ask that question because I am not sure either.
You're not sure. In general, it has been kind of confirmed that Mara has at least come back a couple times, but you don't know if that's just Mara or if it's all print weavers.
It does beg the question: who weaves the print weavers?
You guys are asking all those good lore questions. I want to know if I can get some of that ink that's oozing off of her. Damn person.
Are you doing this inconspicuously or very conspicuously?
I mean, we're kind of gray. They're not gonna hide it.
Okay. You can.
Okay.
Let me just roll some... Oh god, I forgot my things. I'm just gonna roll 5 from some d10s for you, and we'll see how that goes.
I'm trying to. Oh, I'm so glad there's
10,
no morality
19,
system.
21, 23, 24, 36. Added to your stores of ink.
I'm gonna poke the body.
It's dead. It's hella dead.
Okay.
Kaida is going to call Shibu and request that they do a sweep of the area to find either entrances that are not natural to the foundation of the temple or battle marks in the area that we're currently in.
Okay. You did see some, I wouldn't call them battle marks, but you did see some blood splatters. But Shibu will start flying around. They do kind of need to like hop from place to place because all of these cloths are hanging everywhere. So it does kind of impede their fly speed.
Yep.
So they go to do that.
While that's happening, Kaida will take time to actually properly clean up everything, grab cloth, wipe off their face, try to get some of the ink off. Be respectful to the body, not just steal its ink. Stare. It was obviously cut through the throat.
It was a quick, brutal murder. Stiff. From your experience, this was swift. Very swift. It doesn't, at least from what you can tell, they were punctured from behind in a surprise assault in the initial attack.
Oh, I know what happened. God damn it.
Should we inform some authorities?
You could.
Are they suggesting this like in character?
Yes. Ira is standing and poking the body and is going, should we inform the authorities?
Kaida will kind of politely swat Ira's hand away. Stop poking the body. Stop it.
Oh, sorry.
Actually, Mur, that's a darn good question. How are the Print Weavers perceived in this world when it comes to law and stuff like that? Are they apathetic? Are we nuisances? Are we a part of it?
So, print weavers in general throughout this world, as a general high level public view, are seen as very mysterious. They do weird magic. They revive travelers from out of nowhere. They're kind of an enigma as the high level. And then you have your, branching opinions. Some people don't like magic or religion or any type of stuff. And some people really think they're great people or just regular dudes. And it also depends town by town because there aren't like providences or whole countries. Each little town, city, hamlet is their own little society and just place to live. So it's really going to depend on who is in charge here. Because not every town will have law authorities. Like, there have been plenty of places that if something happens, it's handled internally or just internally. It really depends. And since you just arrived, you don't really know who's in charge or what's going on.
Kaida, remembering that he has 2 rings now, will close his left hand and send a telepathic message to who's Ira's girlfriend again?
Mara?
Mara will send.
We're not dating. Yeah.
Right.
We
Right.
tried. I
It's a
tried.
very long courtship. Anyway,
Yes.
Ira will
Yeah.
close his eyes and says, Hi Mara, this is Kaida, Ira's. Hi Mara, this is Kaida, Ira's friend. We're coming from intercity name here.
Vale Point.
Unfortunately, Vale Point. Kaida's controller will write that information down. Vale Point. Um, uh, we have discovered the murder of a Brent Weaver, a priestess, and unsure of next steps. We're investigating what happened, but you should know.
The message does go through, and there's a long stretch of where you don't get a response. And you eventually hear Mara's voice in your head saying, "Thank you. That's concerning. Be careful. Print weavers don't die easy."
Almost for as soon as Mara's voice comes through, he speaks it out verbatim, so the rest of them can hear exactly what happened. And then he says, "We will investigate, and cut the connection." Um,
As you're telling me that you have this connection with Mara, I'm like, ooh, tell her that I got my stuff, and tell her that she's pretty and that I miss her, and then tell her that I think about her all the time. Wait, no, don't tell her that one. Tell her that I'm cool.
uh, Mer, as a DM,
Yes.
question.
Yes.
To activate this, does Kaida actually have to use his voice, or is he can just think about this?
I've just been doing it like telepathically, so in your
Thank
head.
you.
Oh, never mind.
Kaida will then, in his head, say, "Ira misses you very much and would love to have a nice, lovely evening with you as soon as they return to solidify their feelings with you."
You don't get a voice message in the return, but you do get the feeling that she has her tongue is tied,
Cool.
but she doesn't respond.
Kaida will just done.
Thank you. You're so cool.
While this conversation is happening, Stiff, what are you doing?
Yeah, that's fantastic. Stiff is still like lording over the body, just like looking at the stab and the cut, and just going at it in a more scientific way, beyond poking, like actually examining.
Are you trying to get anything specific out of any specific information out of this?
The first thing that came to mind is like the depth of the stab, like if it was a sword or a dagger. How deep is the wound?
Yes. So there is the main stab wound right straight through the chest, but they're also their throat was also slit as well. From what you can tell, I'm not going to make you roll for this because this is your profession. You know what you're doing. The stab wound was straight through the chest, so this would need to be some kind of longer blade. It wasn't like an axe or anything, so some long thin blade like a sword, a rapier, along those lines. Maybe a spear, but more like the width seems more like some kind of blade. And the cut in the throat is very deep, guts the windpipe straight through. So some very well-made, sharp weapon. Either another dagger, another sword, probably dagger just because it's easier to handle when you're going for that type of attack. And likely, these were magic items. Just from your general knowledge as a traveler and how many print weavers you've interacted and monsters you've killed, anything made from ink is going to need some kind of magical oomph behind it. Especially someone who can bring people back to life.
Okay.
Go ahead, if you have another question.
Yeah. This is more kind of backtracking. Did I have that like feeling that the gaze of those eyes were on me, like as we were traveling to the shrine?
Yes.
Don't like that. Okay. Cool.
As you are examining this body, and Ira and Kaida are off having their own conversation, courting Morrow through a third party, you hear the echoing steps of someone coming down the stairs.
And without a word, is going to the stairs.
Do you have a weapon out? Do you just kind of body blocking? What are you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna just face it without a weapon first.
Okay. Kaida and Ira, you see Stiff go for the stairs.
Are we leaving now?
Kaida immediately puts his stuff back on. And goes, less words to wise, when the creepy murder person starts moving, we also move.
You hear these steps coming down the stairs and also a voice, because as you've been talking just in general, your voice echoes across some of the stone. So unless you're like really whispering, you kind of can be heard. And you, a familiar voice to one of you, Ira, you hear someone say, "Mervin, do you have visitors? I just brought dinner, so I was hoping we can go hang out if you're done for the day as soon as you're done."
Oh no.
And around the corner, Stiff, you see this mousy brown hair, gray hair woman, middle-aged, with a basket. Ira, you recognize Kozis from earlier.
Kozis!
Also, where is the body in relation to the stairs?
Based on what we've done so far, the body would probably be right outside of the well at this point. Because no one's moved it since we've retrieved it.
Yeah, I imagine it leaning against the well.
What side of the well in relation to the stairs? The well's like right in the middle.
For the safety of this scene, the other side.
Okay.
So the children doesn't immediately freak out.
Yeah.
Kozis!
Hi.
Good news and bad news.
I'm
Good
sorry.
news. Good news and bad news.
Stiff
Good
is
news,
just
we
staring.
found,
She's looking
the
around like
shrine.
Stiff's.
as you can see, I'm here in the shrine.
Huh.
Bad news, I think, Mervin is,
She like cuts you off and looks at you, Stiff, who is right in front of you. What are they talking about?
I have no idea.
And she turns her attention to Kaida.
Kaida, for once, his stance will actually broaden up a little bit. He'll stand up. He'll soften his demeanor, but he'll still have like this aura and presence about her. He'll walk directly to her and kind of lean down, so he's bit of a better level. Unfortunately, your friend has perished.
And as you were talking, as Iris, you were talking, and a Stiff lies straight to her face, the gears were moving in her head in a little bit of denial, but as soon as you say that, her face crumbles, and she immediately pushes past you, Kaida, and physically attempts to, or at least pushes past you, Stiff, to run into the rest of downstairs of this area, where she immediately kneels down in front of Mervin, resting her hands gently on their chest. And you all hear a quiet wail.
Kaida just turns to his friends and say, "See? Dying hurts."
I apologize that this is how we met him. Do you know of any other travelers that have arrived?
She almost doesn't hear you right away as you're speaking to her. And she goes on crying for a good chunk, like several minutes.
We should go.
Oh, where's Shibu, by the way? This is actually important for Kaido.
Who had Shibu last?
We sent Shibu to go look
Oh,
for.
yes. Thank you. Shibu does eventually come down. Thank you for the reminder.
As soon as Shibu comes within his grasp, Kaido shoots his hand out, his right hand out, and closes it, and so Shibu disappears. It's very important that Shibu does not see this.
You do get a sense of that Shibu didn't find everything. I did roll for Shibu. They didn't really find anything in terms
That's
of...
perfectly fine. Kaido just does not want Shibu to see this.
That's fine. Eventually, Kozis looks at you, her face just covered in tears, which are gray from ink and water together. Do you know what happened?
Oh, when we arrived here, he was in the well. Does he have any enemies?
No. Not that I know of, and I've known Marbed for a very long time.
Perhaps new enemies then.
Has there been any word of escalated violence within the city, particularly with those within religious factions?
There's always some kind of violence. The leaders of this towns are very like organization and like to collect on money made from the market, from travelers and everything like that, and most people don't have the power to say no. There's really only two large factions in the city if you exclude travelers as a whole, as they keep coming and going.
A mafia hit.
I just don't understand why, if anyone tries to get revived here now, they won't be able to if this was their last shrine stop.
That is a terrible thing.
Like,
What happens if...
I don't know.
And we shouldn't find out. And I think with that, Steph is going to start his way up the stairs.
I will find out what happened here. You have my word.
She kind of holds her hand out to you, Ira.
Yeah.
And she like takes one hand and like clasps it with the other to hold him, in your hand in both of hers. I'm gonna try and also figure out what happened, and I'll work with the body. If you need me, I'm going to one of the factions that I'm part of. One of the factions I was telling you about. We're called the Magnus Cycles, a bunch of spellcasters, of travelers and non-travelers alike. You can find us there. And
Okay.
please keep an eye out for the other faction around here. They don't really have a name, but they are efficient and brutal when things don't go their way.
Okay. Thank you.
Before they leave, Kaido's gonna pull out like a small piece of paper. It's like a small book of like 3 or 4 pages of parchment with writing on it that has the title goes, "It's okay to not be okay," and we'll hand it to our new friends. Loss sucks and can hurt for a while, but this might help heal your mental damage. And then he'll fall stiff.
She just takes it, looks at it, and she's just sitting there, despondent as you all leave. Where are you heading? Where are you going? Stiff, you are out first.
that's the question. Where's Stiff going?
You do always feel these eyes. Actually,
Before I do this,
I was going to say, let's take
go
a
ahead.
quick break and then we'll come back and we'll finish that up. How about that? All right.
Cool,
Everybody, we will be back in like 5 to 10 minutes and we'll be back soon. Bye. Hello, everybody. We are back from break. We just got out of a murder scene, a crime, and we were left off with Stiff being the first one to leave the scene of the murder, heading back up this deep, deep pit, strewn with a lot of hanging, colorful fabric of shades and hues and patterns. I did not mean to cut you off earlier, Stiff, but what were you going to ask me before we went to go to break? What were you doing?
You answered it during our break, so you're good.
What was the answer?
Being said, that there's ink in the veins. Can't necessarily milk it and
Okay.
for
Got it.
profit, but
The question for everybody was, what do travelers bleed? And I'm leaving that up to interpretation for every individual person. It can be ink, it can be blood. Could be both, could be neither.
ooh,
It's time. When I cut myself, time bleeds out of me. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
That'd be really cool. I'm gonna pocket that for another game.
honestly. So I guess my new question is that gaze? Is it here or is it beyond the fabric and the tapestries and what have you?
You didn't feel it when you were down below,
Okay,
but you do feel it now.
perfect. It's going to take its blade and like a violin and a bow. He's going to take its longsword and slice their arm and just bleed. And I kind of like this amalgamation of blood and ink. So it's like instead of a vibrant, fresh red blood, it's like this sticky, syrupy crimson.
You're gonna
just
take
leaks from his forearm.
1 vitality damage for cutting yourself. I can't not have you take damage from that.
Yeah, of course.
Galiza, Ira, and Kaida, you just come up as you see Stiff cut themselves.
Stiff, you have so much to live for.
Not if I can't come back. And they're flexing their arm to just like force the blood to come from the wound, and just looks up to challenge whoever's watching them.
Make me a... What are you trying to get out of this? Just a standoff? You trying to intimidate them?
I think it's like supposed. Just trying to like get a rise out of whoever, maybe to force them out of their position now that there's damage done and we hear about the second just bleeding out.
Okay.
So whatever roll. I don't have any will, so it's not like I can.
Okay, so if
See
you
beyond.
want to do an intimidate check, and we're going to use will, there's something in this system called a chance roll, because fortune favors the bold. So you would roll a single die, and if you roll a success, it's 1 success. If you roll a 10, it explodes and you get to roll again. It's very slim chance if you need multiple successes, but it's not impossible.
All right. Big money, no whammies.
Just 10. Did you get a 10?
It exploded.
Okay, so roll again.
Yes.
That's 1 success.
that was it.
Was the second
Just
one a
one.
success or a fail?
A fail.
Okay. You try to get a rise out of this person watching you. You don't know where. You don't see them. I'll just meld that all into one roll because you would to like try and find them. You don't see them either. Whoever they are well hidden. But you feel them staring at you. They don't break cover. But after just a long standoff, you don't feel the gaze anymore. It fades away. And you're just bleeding.
Great. Stiff is gonna like rip a piece of fabric from their new clothes and like make a tourniquet and pull it tight as if that totally is a thing you just do on a Saturday night.
Yeah. Kaida and Ira, you witness Stiff do this.
What are you doing?
Don't worry about it. We have a murder to solve.
Okay. Can I help you solve it?
I assumed as much, unless you don't have the capacity to do so, which I also assumed as much.
Hey,
Wow.
I can help.
I need a senzu bean for that
No.
one.
So what are y'all doing? It's probably like early evening right now. So like 4 to 5 p.m. Sun is just starting to go down.
Kaida's gonna put on a jacket for that ice cold shit that Stiff just said.
And for the weather, because the longer you've been traveling north, the colder it's been getting.
Fair. So we have information. Someone killed somebody. There's the Magnus of Cycles.
Mm-hmm.
That's one. There's a second one. Stiff is feeling a presence around them.
I don't know if they've mentioned that yet, though.
They have not.
No.
So Kaida, who would want to kill a print weaver? Why? Well, there's a bunch of reasons why you want to kill a print weaver, especially if there's an upcoming impending war. You would make sure you don't have a respawn point in the middle of the actual battlefield, so it would be a pretty good idea to get rid of them. But also requires a lot of people to do so.
Oh, also, is Kaida saying this out loud, or it's just like?
Yeah,
this
Kaida
is
would
me
say
just-
this out loud. He doesn't have much of an internal filter.
Okay, that feels in character.
Yep, sorry.
So we have factions to interrogate.
You have one faction that we know of, which is the Circles, and then we have one faction who has no name that seems to be pulling a lot of strings, both of which seems to have some type of influence within the market or bazaar. So I guess the best thing we actually could do is go to the market and see if we can hear anyone talking about recent murders.
Or we can get very persuasive.
Stiff's
I
type of
believe in you.
persuasion is just... I'm waiting.
Stabbing is a way of perceiving.
It really is.
Kaida will make his way towards the market.
Okay. Ira and Stiff?
Stiff will follow in suit.
Okay.
Ira will also follow, but like mostly like for Ira, death is never permanent. So when for Mervin, like maybe for Ira, they're like, come back. Mara came back. They'll come back. It's fine. We'll just figure out what happened. You know, it'll be okay. So Ira's just not really understanding this whole death thing, and it's just like, I mean, I think it's important to bring Mervin back because what if we die and then the body, like, we don't come back? That's basically like Ira's thought pattern at the moment. Like, not, oh, it's sad because Mervyn is dead and somebody loved Mervyn, and so
And Kat is not going to be the one to teach you to be sad. 'Cause that would be.
So Ira's just like, all right, well, what do we need to do? And can we get some food on the way? Because I'm kind of hungry.
There are plenty of food stalls, like street food, everywhere. And mostly congregated in the market, so you can easily get something. A popular food that you do see a lot of people have is a type of flat cake, like bread with a lot of like jalapenos and spices and some vegetables in it.
Ida and Lamar just realized they have not had breakfast in a bit.
Oh no. God, that sounds really good.
Doesn't it so? Kaida's actually going to walk around and try to find... Where will we start with this?
Let me ask this first. Stiff and Ira, are you both going to also be looking around in the thing? Also, Vin, you are muted in meets, just as a heads up.
Ira is gonna go to the market and investigate by like just sort of buying food and asking stuff around. Sort of treating it more of a tourist visit than an actual investigation. So.
And what about you, Stiff?
Stiff is going full reconnaissance mode. They are a shadow. They are like just the thin black strip between stalls, alleyways, just silent.
Okay. So I'm gonna have everyone roll some kind of perception will-based check. You can use points if you want, and the success of this check is not gonna be based individually. It's gonna be based off how many successes y'all get as a group. So Vin, since you don't have any will, you'll be rolling as a chance die. So the same thing as before. On a 10, it explodes.
I got 1 success.
Okay.
I mean, out of 2,
We really did this to ourselves.
out of 2, I feel 50%. It's really great. I rolled
I'm
2 dice.
sorry.
And I got 1 success. This feels great to me.
I built.
I'm just.
This is the character that we built.
Y'all rolled. I think everyone rolled for their characters like dice and stuff. So
That is also true. But still, we had the choice not to, and we were like, nah, which just indicates what kind of wisdom our players have, really. So
I have 6 loops.
Just like
What
the
do
number of
you want
successes I
from
had.
me?
So Kaida and Stiff, how many successes did you have? Ira. Oh, okay.
come on, as a group.
The thing is I rolled 2 successes on things you were looking for, so you just needed 1 more.
Well, I can roll another one. I have I'll use my point.
Okay, roll your point.
Yeah, let's roll 1 more die.
Bless.
Do it up. What'd you get?
Poor Merv creating a murder mystery. With the
It is a
dumbest
success.
print
I got a
Okay.
7. So there you go.
Okay, so the 3 of you are walking around trying to gather information as well as you can in your own ways. Kaida going the more casual route. Well, Ira's the most casual, followed by Kaida, and then Stiff going full shadow, stealth assassin mode. You all learn a bunch of miscellaneous things. You know and hear whispers of gossip, such as the weather has been very cold this time of year, just in general. It's supposed to be a little warmer than it normally is, but it seems like the frost has just suddenly come out of nowhere. Ira, you probably would have heard that. Kaida, you also hear some miscellaneous travelers talking with stall merchants on their recent travels, and the amount of monsters that have been seen have like increased, and they seem to be more dangerous, just more dangerous in general. Stiff, while you are lurking around, you hear a couple miscellaneous things. One, you would know, you overhear a traveler in hushed tones talking to this market stall who is selling just like brooches made out of semi-precious gems, asking about a black market, and also asking how they can get in contact with someone who is good with weapons, if you know what I mean, and disposing of trash. And
I think we're gonna go from stealth to Craigslist. As soon as this person like leaves the stall, they're gonna like skulk a little bit. And I heard you had an issue. I couldn't help but overhear.
how stealthily are you being? Are you just like sneaking up on them?
I think this is a little ways away. Oh yeah, totally.
You want to roll me like a dex?
As if to advertise.
You want to dex check the
Yes. Would that be all my dex die, or is it
all
just
your dex? And if you want to add extra points, you can. But we can start with the in general dex. I do not know how
Alright,
many
let
you
me see
have
if
off the top of my head.
I have 6.
You have 6 dex?
Yes.
Oh my god.
How do you have 6 decks?
That's
And
amazing.
0 will, baby! That is
A lot of decks.
That's good.
3 successes.
Oh, you do have 0 will. That makes sorry.
So
Min max.
this person almost jumps completely out of their skin as you just suddenly come up behind them. I'm sorry?
I'm a traveler from out of town, but you spoke my business. So here I am.
Oh, you mean
Weapons, trash.
it depends what your rates are. And I kind of try and getting in contact with the locals for reasons.
I'm better than local. I disappear.
Roll me a check to try and convince them that you're better.
All right. I'm assuming this is Will. Another chance. Okay.
I will give you advantage on this because you did scare the shit out of them. So you have a success on a 5
right.
to 10 instead of a 6 to 10.
I rolled 2 4s back to back.
Oh my god. Sorry.
Charismatic characters. Hit them in the face.
I'm sorry. I'm not the client. I'm just speaking for the client, and the client told me I need to go find the locals. So they just, and then as they're speaking, they're kind of slowly walking backwards. Eyes on you this entire time.
It's gonna close the distance by taking a larger step, being nothing but like thin and sinew, then allow me to speak to the client. Or you don't speak at all.
Listen, I'm just the messenger.
And I'll shoot the messenger. I'll stab the messenger. I'll skin them alive.
Roll me another check, but I want you to roll with strength instead, because you are
Okay.
verbally, visibly threatening them with violence. So this is going to be strength instead of will.
All four successes.
I'll talk to them. I will bring someone, but I need to go get them. So I
I'll
promise.
be at the inn.
What was that? I just didn't hear you.
I'll be at the inn.
The Traveler's Rest.
Yes.
Okay. And they'll just keep backing up out of the alleyway that you've kind of cornered them in. Like, you're here and they're just like slowly circling you before they're scarpering. Just for shits and giggles, I think Kaida and Ira, you do see this scared civilian just running, pushing through people in the market. One of you definitely get body checked.
Kaida looks over at Stiff.
And you see this ghost in the alley just raise a paid thumbs up.
Ira is gonna be like, and goes around and goes to one stall after the other and goes, "Hey, what you know about Mervin?"
Okay. This person who is making like little round fried pieces of dough covered in like a honey drizzle with like that seems to be infused with some kind of like floral syrup.
I should learn to eat food.
I'm sorry.
I'm hungry. I am gonna give them a coin for this.
They're making this stuff for you, and like, oh yeah, Mervin's pretty cool. They and their friend Kozas come by every once in a while. They're real good friends. Really friendly person.
They don't have any enemies.
Not that I can think of. Like every once in a while, they get into fights with miscellaneous travelers because, you know, travelers die and they come back with nothing, and you know, travelers get cool stuff from print weavers, but they can only give out so many because it's a lot of work. Apparently, I don't know. Like my grandfather was a traveler, but I heard stories.
Do you think when print weavers die, they also come back to life?
Print weavers die?
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm not saying a print weaver died. I'm just asking if you think.
Roll me a check to lie.
So wisdom.
Print weavers die?
Oh, do they? I'm not saying somebody died. It's 0. I failed twice.
Wait, did you roll a 0 or you just didn't get any successes?
No, I didn't get any successes.
They just kind of look at you. Did something happen to Mervin?
Define happen.
How about you define happen?
I mean, you're the one asking questions.
They kind of finish making your food and begin to close up.
Thank you.
The best improv game I've ever seen in my life.
Oh yeah, they start closing up, giving you like looks every once in a while as they leave.
All right, bye. Well, that didn't help. I'm sure that's not gonna bite me in the ass later. I got you, which is what is the food that I actually got.
Did Kaida pick up on anything happening beyond what has already been described?
Besides the miscellaneous rumors, the Stiff threatening someone, and if you were near Ira when that happened, you would have noticed that. I think with the successes, you would eventually feel the eyes and the gaze that Stiff felt earlier.
I immediately look for it.
You can roll.
Is that wisdom? 1 success.
You can get the area, but not the exact position. There is a set of buildings behind where the market is set up, and it seems to be like rooftops that general direction.
Cool. Are there any kids running around? I'm more like street urchins and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah, absolutely.
So it seemed to fly out of nowhere. Shibu shows up, and then he tries to get the kids' attention by like having Shibu do like little tricks and stuff, like fly around him and like moonwalk over his arms, like
Moonwalking.
trying to get the kids to come over.
Some of them are definitely there for the entertainment. Some of them are definitely there because you look well off, since you're specifically looking for street urchins.
Yep. Kaido will reach into his pocket and kind of also start playing with a gold coin, as well as having Shibu like mess around. And he goes, "I have a question for you."
Yeah.
And,
Yeah, what's up?
what's in those buildings over there?
The kids look over. Mostly residential?
Is it popular? Are there like rich people there, poor people? Do you find a lot of scraps there?
I have good scraps. Definitely good scraps. They're occupied. Their eyes are watching the coin. Not so much Shibu anymore. Definitely the coin.
Yep. So he will say,
We don't go over there though because we only go there for scraps. So we don't stay long because there are powerful people over there.
"That's what I needed to know. So do me a favor. I need you to take this coin. I need you to get all the other little kids without guardians. Share, go get some ice cream, and then go ahead and go to the other side of the city."
We're gonna need more than one coin if we're gonna get enough ice cream for all of us. They just give you a shit-eating grin.
If you get all the kids,
All the kids.
here's 3.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then he'll smile. He'll have Shibu just give a quick chirp chirp. And then his face will deepen into like warrior mode and start making his way over there.
You see the kids holding these 3 coins up, yelling like, "Candy's on me," before like going to the opposite end of the market, essentially.
He's not hiding the very fact that he's marching that way, hoping that his compatriots will notice what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And he will strap down Shibu because this is probably going to go down.
All right. I run Stiff.
Fantastic. Stiff is gonna notice serious kind of mode and roll out. Just sulking behind them.
After that exchange, Ira's gonna go to a couple of stores and get more food and just sort of follow Kaida and Stiff after.
I was like,
I hug.
Bad mood. I'm hungry. Thanks. It's fine. I did this to myself.
you did do this to yourself
did.
and the rest of us. How
I
dare
had
you.
the opportunity to get Indian the other day.
Oh no, and you didn't? Why?
We usually order a
Aw.
lot, and I don't think I could handle the stress of having so many leftovers.
Indian places do be giving you food. Anyway,
I'm gonna order food after this.
I gotta go get really good Greek after this. Now you keep talking. Anyway,
Barbecue chicken.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're
Okay, we'll stop.
sidetracking.
Sorry. Food. It's in my brain right now.
In a discussion. Food.
Marching towards the residential areas, which have been told by this little urchin that yes, they can be dangerous.
He's pretty much going to let the feeling kind of pull him in again, he's not stealthy, so he's walking with purpose until he can find maybe the central location or something in the wind makes him stop.
So this is Kaida, and then who's taking up the rear and who's taking up the middle?
Still take the rear.
I could be in the middle, passing food around if they wanted it.
Okay. So as you go into this residential area, the chatter of the market gets quieter, and you keep going forward. In general, the bottom floors and just the windows in general seem to be fairly locked up. There aren't a lot of people on this street walking around chatting, like on a normal evening, just doing chores and such like that. Neighbors being neighborly, etc. The noise dies down as you continue forward. A maze of alleyways. Kaida, I want you to roll a... I think you have the ring that gives you advantage on pathfinding checks. Is that you or is that someone else?
I have a compass that reveals directions and elevators.
Okay, so I will say if you want to use that, you can to roll a check to figure out where exactly you're going, kind of melded with your intuition.
What would you like me to roll?
I would like you to roll a wisdom, please. This is a really wisdom-heavy session. It's okay. It's fine.
1.
Okay, so you do not pass. So you're just kind of going.
Wait, does the compass give me any bonuses to that?
It would give you advantage, which is just broadens the range by 1. A 1 on the die isn't going to do it. And you all kind of, like, Ira, this is the first time you feel it. And you feel it a little too late as something is happening. So, you all feel the eyes on you again. And I'm going to roll. How many am I rolling? I don't know how many I'm rolling.
This is gonna hurt.
I know. I should have looked this part up in general. Ranged.
Oh, this is gonna hurt.
I love ranged weapons, okay? Ranged weapons are great. So an extra 2d10. This is going to be 4. Ira, you feel a arrow pierce you in the shoulder. And you'll take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And you all just see Ira with an arrow outside of their shoulder. I would like everyone to please roll me initiative. That's rolling dex, and let me know how many successes there are going to be between all of you.
Okay. Do I already like the OB for the Seraph armor? What was it again? I had
against will. It's against will damage. If they're doing will damage or you need to make some kind of will check, it'll be OB3 instead of OB1.
I only got 1 success.
And we're rolling for what do we roll for initiative again?
You're gonna roll dex, and as a group, you're gonna tell me how many successes there are.
I only have 2 in this one as well.
1 success.
1, 2.
Oh, great! 2 successes. 2 out of 2.
How many successes did you all have? I know Stiff got 0, and it was.
I got 1.
Oh no, I had 1. So we have 4 successes as a party.
So the party's gonna go first, actually. Out of all of them, they got 3 successes.
Cool. Do we know where they came from?
Definitely elevated. The arrow was at an angle in Ira's shoulder.
I am going to just break it off and pull it out.
The trained this trained first aid person in me was just like, oh no, that's terrible. You're not supposed to do that.
Don't do it at all.
You're not
But-
supposed to do it.
I think it's cool. Let's do it
It's
anyway.
so cool. Okay, you can do that as a free action.
Yeah. And then I'm going to try and look for like a person maybe that's shooting an arrow.
Okay, you may do so.
Do I have to roll for anything?
You do.
Okay.
You will need 2 successes to succeed on this.
And again, that is a will. Okay. I'm gonna use my last extra point, so I'll roll 3 dice,
Okay.
just in case. And that is 3 successes. Whoa, that's great. That's 6, 6, and 7. It's almost 6, 6, 6.
Yes. So you see 1, 2. Okay, so yeah, so you see 4 people in a variety of windows and roofs. The roofs are actually only like there's only 2 stories the ground on the 2nd floor. But anyone you see is either in a window or the roof. But you see 4. 4 people in just period. Dark clothes, variety of facial features that you can see. A couple have masks, so you can't see fully all of them. They all have weapons of some sort. They are are all holding crossbows or bows. Who else would like to go from the party? Since Ira looked around. You can tell them if you want to point anything out.
I do. They're well. I try to well, whatever. I'm just gonna point. They're over there.
Is it possible to start climbing?
Absolutely. You do need to make a
All
check. This will be part of your movement, and if you succeed, you will be there. If you succeed, you will be there. Because I'll say it's one
All right.
one distance range away.
Cool. So is that strength or dex?
This will be strength.
Okay. That is 2 successes.
Yes, you are able. These are sturdy, but they're sturdy structures, but they're not like slick or anything. So there's plenty of handholds to start climbing. You are in front of someone.
Cool. Is that my entire turn, or do I have? Okay.
You actually were able to move, so you can actually have one more turn if you wanted to attack.
Oh, stab.
You can stab.
All right. Get these 4 out for strike.
I need to look up the mechanic.
And I got 4 successes.
Perfect. Tell me what happens as you are able to go pierce through some of the armor of this person. They're not down, but you definitely hit them.
Yeah, it's we're in business mode. Sif doesn't make no show of it. It's not like elegant or flashy. It is just sword into body.
Perfect. Kaida?
What kind of building are they in?
Just seems like a regular, like, house. It's hard to tell unless you're looking inside a window, but it's definitely not a shop or anything like that.
What is the building materials of the house?
Oh, the building material is kind of like a stone brick.
All right.
Hence a
And
lot of
burning it-
handholds for.
Yeah, burning it down would not work. So Kaida is going to climb as well.
Okay, please make a check for me. It's gonna be like you're gonna need like 2 successes. There's a lot of
For
handholds.
strength, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's about 4 successes.
Okay, yeah, easy. And you have enough movement to, you have enough of your turn to also attack if you would like. Is this the same one or a different one near Stiff?
I would like to take Stiffs and throw them over the edge
Okay, we are going to make a opposed strength check. So tell me how many successes you have.
4.
Yeah, tell me what you do.
Kaida's gonna get up there and see Stiff has already stabbed a person. So Kaida's gonna grab them by the neck and rip them off of Stiff's sword and just throw them over. And as he does, he turns around and lets his cape fly back and stares at everybody else.
This person
Welcome.
falls.
Yeah, you've made mistakes.
This person falls, and they land near you, Ira, in a crumpled heap, and they seem stunned for a sec. This one seems stunned for a second before they struggle to their feet and actually
punch
bolt.
them. Oh,
This one actually bolts.
can I punch him before he bolts?
You can, yes. You would have an opportunity attack against them.
Okay. I am going to use the butt of my spear to do that.
Okay, go for it.
And that is a strength roll, right?
Correct. A strength roll plus whatever weapon you have. So this is a medium weapon. So you can use strength or dex and then add an extra 2d10 since it's medium.
Well, my dex is shit, so I'm just gonna use my strength.
Perfect.
And that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes.
Any zeros? Any tens?
No zeros. No tens.
Okay. So their OB was 1, so they take 4 damage. They look really, really bad as you basically knock them, but they keep running. They flee.
Okay.
The other
Where are
three...
you going? You coward! Come back here!
Okay, so this game also has something called morale checks. So after a certain amount of conditions, other people need to make morale checks to see if something happens. Oh, hold on.
One of their buddies got stabbed, thrown over, and then punched.
Yeah, basically.
It's a rough day to be a bad guy. Or maybe we're the bad guys. I can't really tell anymore.
Okay.
Are we the baddies?
So one
Yeah, are
of
we the baddies?
Conditions of a morale check needing to be made is the first time an ally flees or falls in battle, and it makes a will check against the number of adversaries it is fighting. I rolled really poorly for all of them. They all rolled 2 successes or lower. So what happens is they all look at this one who fled, look at the rest of you who have 1 hit someone while they were running, 2 practically leaped up onto the second floor and stabbed, and then the 3rd practically leaped up and threw someone off a fucking roof. So they all look at each other before running. If anyone has any ranged weapons, you can go after them. But if you don't have a ranged weapon, they're going to be out of range unless you start doing.
I don't have a ranged weapon, but I have a really big bird.
You do have a really big bird.
That sounds like an innuendo somehow. I have a big bird.
Does your vulture have
I
a
have
name?
a big bird. Mortem.
Mortem. Okay. Yeah, so you can definitely, as part of your turn, summon Mortem. And
Okay.
have them do something on your turn, if you would so desire.
Yes, I would love for my vulture to Stiff just throws her hand out for the ring to summon them, and just to either harass one of them or try to clamp down with their fucking claws.
Yeah, those are fucking dangerous. Which one are you going for? There's a total of 3. One of them looked there were 4 of them total. 2 of them looked like they were wearing a thin leather armor, and 2 of them looked like they were wearing hardened or reinforced leather armor. All in dark colors.
Thin armor, baby.
The one that was hit or the one that was not hit?
I guess the one that was hit. Just make it easy for him.
Okay, sure. would you like to describe what happens as your mortem succeeds in taking this thing down as the rest of them flee?
Same as Stiff. It's all business. Nothing flashy. It is just capture, clamp down, like prey.
So technically, this mortem reduces this person to 0 vitality. Do you want them to go for a kill, or do you want to just have them hit to 0 and not completely destroy them until you get a hold of? I'm giving this the option because the way the mechanics work for y'all as players, if you don't get stabilized once you hit 0, you die. So
It will have to depend on Stiff.
what would Stiff
Yeah,
like to do?
I think for plot reasons, otherwise it'll just be dead. But they're gonna scramble down and go down to the person and just kneel right beside them. You're going to spend your final moments being useful to me. Do you understand?
You don't get an exact verbal yes or no, but you do get a very loud groan of pain.
Good.
We are out of combat.
Hey.
Kaida will jump down from the roof and go join Stiff. And not that they need it, but his longsword will just be pressed against the downed person's neck, and it'll just stand there.
Who
And
killed
then,
the Print Weaver?
Ira will be like behind them both and go like,
I love them. Let me get
Ira's
the
not
tea.
threatening at all. It's like, what's up? Huh?
Give me the tea on what's happening,
love that.
please. I'm just like imagining like you've had your food in one arm, you hit
Yeah.
someone with the butt, but you're still eating.
I don't think we're the good guys.
I think we're the baddies.
Good is subjective.
I think we're a little gray. I don't know, guys.
I think we're gray Jedis, y'all.
This person
yeah,
is on the ground. I'd like y'all to at least Kaida and Stiff. Maybe not Ira. You're being not very hostile.
No, I'm just curious is basically what's up.
Yeah, if you two can make strength intimidation checks at
You.
advantage.
Thank you.
Cool.
Because I'm about to say,
So that means a 5 also counts as a
Correct.
success.
Yes.
Okay, 4 successes.
3.
This person groans again, blood just pouring out of them. It looks like it's regular blood. It's red. It's not super thick like syrup or ink. Whoever this is not a traveler. But so they are groaning as you are all huddled very threateningly around them. You asked who killed the Print Weaver? My group, the leaders of this town.
Why?
And oh, go ahead.
We were hired.
Where are they at?
Who?
The people who hired you.
They have a large hall library on the west side of town.
Very good. Another question for you. How close to death are you right now?
There's fear in his eyes. He doesn't know how to answer that, but
Ira's gonna go, oh, like your personal cheerleaders.
Kind of goes, this is my friend Stiff. Their name is very descriptive of their interactions with others. I'm a bit more kind. But here's the thing. Dying hurts. And so I don't want you to die. But I do need you to be pacified. And so Kaido will take his sword and let me read something really quick.
Oh?
I need to make sure I don't cross something. I think I'm good. Give me a second. Up. Okay, yep, I'm good.
This was
he's
brought up in chat. Is this the guy that shot me, or just the one of the?
I will roll a d10
Okay.
and see which one who shot who. So 1 and 2 will be if it's on a 1 or 2, it was this one.
Okay.
If it was anything else, it will be one of the others. It was this one. I rolled a 1.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, so he's going to grab this guy's arm, grab his long sword, and cut him by the wrist of his right hand.
Oh, you're just disabling him.
I'm pacifying him.
Yeah. So he is, unless he puts a lot of work into strengthening his other arm, he's going to have a hard time wielding a two-handed weapon.
Very good. Now, I need you to lead us to where you where you got your chop from, which is why you have your legs.
There's a loud yell as you do this. Do you let him up, at least moving a little bit?
Oh yeah, I let him up. Stiff can do what they want.
Ira is gonna go. You want a donut hole?
Oh yes, please.
I have some more. Stiff, do you want a donut hole?
Stiff is silent.
And then I offer it to the guy that shot me. Do you want a donut hole?
No!
All right. I just figured you needed it because, your arm... Huh? You did shoot me, though. So...
He's not paying attention to you. He's really focused on trying to cut off the blood flow in his wrists so he does not bleed out.
I feel like you'd appreciate the donut hole. Dang. Here am I being polite to you after you shot me, and you're just ignoring me. It's just rude, isn't it, Kaida?
Listen, you don't need me to show you how to get there. It is the Magnus of Cycles home.
Oh god damn it! God damn it!
Can I go?
No.
You're really rude for someone who's like, your life is dependent on not on me because I don't care, but on this too. You're really rude.
This banter is very funny. I am dying on the inside. You cannot tell how much joy is in the pit of my stomach and my intestines. But I do have an appointment. And I would like to complete this appointment at the inn.
Very good. With that, Kaida says, no, you can't go. Kaida's going to take out his sleeping roll. Force the guy into the sleeping roll.
He's actually going to try and make a run for it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, he's going to try and make a run for it.
Dare you?
I gave him an option. Okay.
As soon as you start trying to force him into the roll, he's going to try and book it. So whatever y'all want to do, I rolled his check for trying to bolt. So
I'm going to cut off one of his feet.
I am going to say if you do any more damage, he's going to die. Because
that's fine.
Okay.
With his sword, that's a +3, making it a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
If you get one success, it's done. He was already technically at 0.
Oh well, he's done because one of them is a 10. So.
Yeah, no, he good. He down. He good.
It doesn't matter. Take his body, put him in the sleeping roll, and start walking towards the cycle.
Magnus of Cycles.
Yes. And I apologize. I think I confirmed that this is within. Yes.
will say Stiff is going to the inn
Okay.
to meet with the client.
How long do you stay at the inn? Or where in Kaida and Ira? I know Kaida's going to the Magnus Cycles. Ira, where are you going?
I'm going to follow Kaida.
Okay. Split in the party. Beautiful.
Where is Stiff going?
To the inn.
And
Okay.
Ira and Kaida, you begin to head, I think I said the western side of town, with a body bag, essentially, on your shoulder. A bloody body bag. You all get looks and wide berths. There isn't an official town guard here. So, essentially, anyone who looks like a civilian is leaving you the fuck alone. You are visibly armed. And anyone who is near that are whispering as you make your way west. Eventually, you see a large building. Okay, why is my... Okay, there we go. Thought captions weren't working for a second. Eventually, when you start walking towards the west, and you see a large circular building with a domed roof. There are lights on the inside, flickering in actually a variety of colors, and large double doors out front.
oh, kind of walks right through.
When you, Ira, are you following?
Yeah. Ira's basically like a little child, sort of like demeanor, and is just like, oh, and following Kaida around.
This is a terrifying sight.
Yes.
A large brother with a body bag and a happy-go-lucky barbarian person just fucking
With a
bouncing through.
spear and like some donut
Fucking
holes.
Love it.
This is a terrifying sight.
When you enter, you see a large library. The entire outside interior is lined with shelves all the way up to the ceiling. And when you're actually inside, even though from the outside the dome looks opaque, you can actually see the sky from inside. It looks like it's a one-way, not mirror, but one-way window. A lot of people seem to be talking or doing research or reading. But you do see Kozis, who is quiet, thinking to themselves at a desk. And when you enter with a body bag, they look alarmed and concerned and immediately come to their feet.
Hi.
And Ira, you still have you were bleeding.
Yeah. I'm bleeding from my shoulder.
Oh my gosh, are you okay? What happened?
I'm okay. Somebody tried to kill us.
Oh,
Also, we found the people who killed our print weaver friend.
her
And he'll-
face gets very dark and steely as you mention this.
He'll drop the body bag on a table in front of her.
Was one of them. Anyway.
Yeah. See, this one had a group of friends. They decided they didn't like our faces. Ira's poor shoulder had to be sacrificed, but alas, we were able to capture this one and get some information before they were pacified. He'll open up the body bag to show like the missing arm and foot. But before they became fully pacified, they told us something very interesting. Why did you do it?
She looks confused and then, like, angry. I didn't.
Somebody here did.
I want the two of you to make me wisdom / kind of like perception checks for me, please.
Fuck. Well, that's you. I'll try to get an explosion.
I mean, I'll try. Oh, hey, I got 8 and a 10.
Okay.
I got a 4.
Ira, in this time you're talking to Kozis, you don't see who or when this happened, but you do count less people in here.
Where are your friends?
We're actually going to switch over to Stiff really quick.
Okay.
We're gonna die.
Stiff, you are at the inn where after you basically intimidated someone to be like, I want to talk to your the client, and you're waiting. What are you doing while you're waiting? Because you didn't give a time. No one gave any times.
They're just gonna sit at an open table, arms folded, and wait.
Okay. It's some time before someone finally does come up to your table and sits down next to you. It is a
I hope you won't waste my time.
very average looking young woman. Brown eyes, light brown skin, brown hair pulled back in a ponytail. Plain looking clothes. I was told you can help better than the locals.
Yes, I can.
And your rates?
Only if I get the job done. In ink.
All right, how much?
100 drops.
Okay. It's really simple, really, and I don't particularly care who, as long as this is done. But I need you to kill a traveler for me. I don't care who. I'm also imagining this is
A
at
traveler.
I'm assuming this is also like off in a corner at an empty table for privacy reasons. Of course, Stiff took the chair closest to the wall. Yes.
It's very cinematic.
Yes. A traveler. And if it can be done immediately, I'll up it to 150 drops.
And may I be so bold, so prying, as to ask why you need a traveler's corpse?
Oh, I don't need a corpse. I just need the dead.
No experimentation, no wild, grand scientific delusions. Just death.
Yes.
Somehow that's even more nefarious.
I assure you there's a reason, but it's not part of your job to be butting into my business now, is it?
We don't ask the blade. That's completely understandable. And they stand.
However, if you can, actually... No, I know if you'll be doing it. Can you do this done quick?
They keep walking.
You kind of hear them muttering behind you. If they don't do it, they don't get paid, so no skin off my back. Okay. Stiff, what do you do with this information? And John?
They're gonna keep it to themselves.
Okay.
Yeah, that's 100 drops is not a lot. I just picked a number. I was like, we'll go with that. So we'll see. It depends on if someone in particular is also a traveler.
All of you would have noticed this. There's a significant number of travelers here in the city. Not too many, but it seems like since this is a larger area in civilization, there's a lot of people passing through. So you have definitely seen all three of you have seen other travelers here.
I was about to say 100 drops of ink to take someone out. You cheap as hell, my boy. Jesus.
Okay, we're gonna hop back to Kaida and Ira. Ira, you noticed that there were less people here, and I believe you mentioned it. And she looks around. Kozis looks around. People come and go all the time. Who killed Mervin?
Someone from this very faction.
She gets thoughtful and just shakes her head, like, not in confusion, but more so like racking her brain on who it would be. And you know this for sure.
A dying man's last words are rarely lies.
She looks at you, Ira.
Don't know.
But why? There's a lot of travelers in this organization. They benefit from having a print weaver here. And a lot of them were also friends with Mervin.
I don't know.
If there's a war that's about to break out, it's better to make sure that you cannot resurrect your enemies in the battlefield. But that's simply a guess.
I don't know anything about war.
War hurts.
Is there anybody else that can be trained up to become a print weaver in the meantime? Like a print weaver in training?
Mervin never told. I've known Mervin since I was a kid. I don't know how they became one. I don't know how it works, and they never told me. I'm gonna roll a check for her. 1 second.
I used to be a print weaver, and then took an arrow to the face.
I used to be a traveler. An arrow to my face.
1, 2.
I'm still a traveler, but it hurts.
But it hurts. It hits a lot.
She grows quiet and contemplative. There have been an increase in private projects over the last several months. My guess, it's probably related to one of those. People have been very quiet and secretive on what's been going on. I'm going to confront them. And if I'm wrong, it turns into a disagreement. But if not, well, vengeance is swift, right?
I will be there with you. So that it'll be a fair vengeance.
All right.
Donut hole?
No, thank you. No, thanks. And she gets up. She pushes her chair out from the table and stands up, ready to leave. Stiff. I have an important question for you. Do you go and murder a traveler at this person's request?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah! Rule of fun, baby!
108.
150 because it's quick.
For 150 ink
I'll do it for a corn chip.
Okay.
for a single rental car day. Taking somebody else.
What kind of weapon do you have again? Is it heavy, medium, light, or ink?
It is a heavy.
Okay, so you're going to roll 3d10 plus the number of strength die you have. And what I would like you to do is describe to me who you target and how you go about them, and then I'm going to have you roll.
All right. I think they go for the least descript person, someone whose clothes differ from the general populace, and just take them out.
Okay. Do you do an aerial assault, sneak up on them, just brutally murder them in the evening light?
I think it's the same stabby. Instead of the abdomen, it's just like through the chest.
Okay. I would like you to roll with advantage because this is really out of fucking left field for anyone. So you're going to roll with advantage when you do this and roll all your dice. So you're going to tell me how many successes you have on a 5 or up.
Okay. So what happens when you have a 10 in this game?
How many 10s do you have? Because
Just
depending,
one.
if you meet their OB, it's a crit. And I think
Okay,
that
so
this person is in a safe haven. They're not wearing their armor. So I'm going to say this is a crit.
I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes.
Yeah. How do you slaughter this person?
Wow. Indeed.
Water's the correct word.
That is the correct for
Honestly.
$5. For like two
For the amount
Like-
of fight.
2 to 3 donut
For-
holes.
For
Yes,
a 4
basically
for
for a
4.
We talked about food so much this
I
session.
know. Last session it was
For a Wendy's
animal
4 for
facts.
4.
Last session was animal facts. This session is food.
I think just to keep them quiet. I think it's grotesque. It is through the back of the head and through the mouth. Just a stab right through.
Ooh,
Just
Never
when
gonna
they
eat
would choke on
anything
their
ever
own blood.
again.
It's just no.
You stab this person through the neck, through the spine, and even if they wanted to do anything, they couldn't because you just disconnected the spine from the rest of the body. They couldn't move. So, in a way, it's slightly slow on how fast they fade away. But they do eventually die. And have you ever killed a traveler before?
I think so. I
So,
don't think it's as surprising.
So you've, in like just like the past when you've killed travelers before, what happens is their body collapses, and you know that since you're in a safe haven, there is no danger of this traveler becoming a printless. You're fine in safe havens. But the ink from their fingers slowly bleeds off into a mist and wisps of inky smoke as they raise into the air. And normally what would happen is they would travel towards the last shrine they were at. And that is what happens. They begin to move away. At first, they begin to move towards the northern middle of town. But in a very jerky... Do you follow it? That's the real question.
At a distance.
Okay. So at a distance, you are following this essentially a person. They begin to head towards the middle of town where Mervin's hole and shrine was. But in a very jerky motion, it gets yanked towards the west. And if you
I'm
continue
gonna
to
keep following.
you continue to follow it, and you eventually become along to this large circular domed building. And
it keeps going.
it keeps going. Inside, Ira and Kaida. First, Kozis wants to move this body before leaving. And what she does is takes out a tome, which, if you've ever met any other travelers, some travelers are based in magic. And she waves her hand over this body in this bedroll of yours, Kaida, and it shrinks down to like the size of her palm,
You put it in your little pocket.
which is exactly what she does. She does wipe her hands off a little bit. And then a wispy smoke gets pulled in through the front door. Zooms past you. Eventually followed by Stiff.
Oh. Hey, Stiff.
Hi, Ira.
Were you following that cloudy, inky thing?
We just happen to be going in the same direction.
Oh.
1, 2, 3. Kozas looks at it. That's a traveler.
Probably. I don't know. I've never seen that.
I've seen enough people dying. I've seen Mervin raise enough people to know that's a traveler. And she looks at you. Why were you following it? Why is it coming here?
Do you think there's like a shrine here?
I was about to ask you the same thing.
She
I was
looks
instructed to.
confused and doesn't know what to say, except for there shouldn't. Mervin's shrine is the only shrine in this city.
Well, I guess to find out, we need to
Stiff is
follow
still
it.
following the.
Yeah, kind of
Run.
pulls out
Okay.
his sword. It's
Okay.
like, no, it's not.
Okay, so there, once she realizes y'all are gonna keep fucking moving, she's running after you. She's a little slower than all the rest of you. Not as mobile. And you need to climb stairs onto a second story. And it looks like there is another building attached in the back that you can't see from the front. And there are many doors. And it eventually makes its way through the bottom of a crack of a door, like 2/3 down on the left. And Kozis catches up a little bit, trying to catch her breath. These are the workrooms.
And they seem to be working.
She begins to march down the hall. Past you.
They seem to be working. Hollywood writer. We keep booking.
She actually kind of stays near you, Ira. Nervous.
Are you sure you don't know what's going on?
She shakes her head.
Can I insight check that
You may.
with a will?
You may.
Okay, cool. I got just one success.
She seems earnest. She seems genuinely confused and still grieving Mervin.
Okay. I can't say I understand how you're feeling, because my print weaver is alive. I apologize that yours doesn't seem to come back. But maybe with the shrine, Mervin will come back, right?
One can hope.
Yeah. We'll see. In fact, maybe Mara can help. Yeah.
She kind of nods. What do the Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Kaida. Go ahead, Kaida.
Kaida becomes increasingly concerned that Ira does not understand what's going on.
Iris never dealt with death,
Not in
even
a way
though
that
they
matters.
die all the time.
The three of you, what do you do? She seems kind of hesitant in wanting to open the door. Not because, like, she doesn't want to know what's going on, but because she's still wrestling. One, her friend is dead. Two, a place she has been working with seems to be the cause of it. So a breach of trust. What do the three of you do?
Iris just gonna open the door.
Okay. I'm going to roll a quick check. Not against any of you, don't worry.
Hello!
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's only 5 successes out of 12. So, what the three of you...
Only 5.
Only
five.
3 out of 12. There's several people in here. Probably about a half dozen. And as you open this door, this is a small workroom with a bookshelf, large pots of ink everywhere, and 5... a mix of travelers and non-travelers, though they seem to have ink tattooed on their hands and fingers in a similar way that the three of you have your print marks. And they are casting magic of some sort. The three of you aren't magic-based travelers, so I don't think you really understand the intricacies of what they're doing. But this smoky ink from the traveler that you killed, Stiff, is swirling around the room, coalescing, trying to become more present, more solid, before it wisps away, and there are groans of frustration and defeat. One person turns to another. They didn't really notice in the midst of their chanting when you open the door, as one turns to another saying, "We'll try again next time."
Try what again?
5 eyes turn to you in startlement. Nothing, just a project we're working on. Don't worry about it.
Does it involve dead travelers?
I'm gonna roll
God,
something.
I love
Hold on.
Iris so much. I love Iris so much for doing all the things that need to be done. Ira deserves all the hugs for the things that are about to happen.
About 3 of them look at each other looking guilty, but 2 of them have steely eyes looking at you, not looking guilty. And what if it does?
Oh. Does it also involve dead print weavers?
So what if it does?
You know, friends.
I think we found
And
them.
Stiff just steps into the room, unsheathes his sword. I think I just upped my fee.
You have no clue what Stiff's talking about.
Yeah. In my head, more donut holes.
My soul felt.
Stiff, you step forward, but you are kind of like pushed out of the way as Cosette like literally pushes you out of the way, trying to get into the room behind you. And she looks at the 5 of them. She's like, "How dare you? Why are you trying to go against Providence? You don't think I'm not smart enough to realize what you are trying to doing, watching what you're doing? You killed a print weaver, my friend, trying to take her place just because you wanted to try? What the hell is wrong with you?
Makes sense.
You're disgusting. 3 of the people in here look guilty, but the 2 of them do not. The one's mostly, basically, not giving a shit that they
I
had
don't
essentially
like
been the cause
them.
of 2 people. What was that, Ira?
I said I don't like them. That one. The one that doesn't. Yeah. Can we stab him?
She kind of hears you, but she doesn't say anything. Do you have anything to say for yourselves? And they just look at her. And she looks at the 3 of you. Do you still want to help me?
Shing! Yeah! Yeah,
My sword is already out, so I don't get to make a noise.
I'm going to take that as a yes. And we don't need to go through this, but I do have an important question. There were 5 of them. Which ones do you focus on? And are there any you spare?
The ones that don't feel guilty.
Stiff, Kaida?
Listen, there's 5. We got 5.
Yeah, there's Kaida's gonna go after the one who verbally said, "Who cares?"
That's fair.
I am going to scare the other 3 though. Like, ha! Because they look guilty. They feel bad at least.
Without going into too many details, the 4 of you are able to do what needs to be done to avenge Mervin.
We've taken a lot of lives today.
I've taken a lot of lives today.
It's been a bloody Saturday.
It's been a
It's a tiring Saturday.
Blood,
Wander would have had so much fun.
yeah. Blood flows. Ink flows. It looks like the 3 who looked guilty were not travelers. They were fledgling magicians. But the 2 who did not care were travelers.
They're
The 3 who were fledgling magicians, as soon as they realize things are gonna get bloody, they start apologizing profusely, saying this was not their idea, and more so looking and saying this to Kozes and Ira, because Ira looked like they were going to give some mercy.
Go sit in a corner. I'll talk to you later.
Kozes eventually does leave, angry. Then you don't see her.
When everything's sort of like when the other 2 travelers are back to just being ink, I'm going to look at the fledgling magicians and I'm going to ask them, do you know how to bring a print weaver back?
They shake their head. No.
Is there a way to bring a print weaver back?
They don't know.
Can you send a letter to a print weaver in a different location?
Kaida pokes Ira's shoulder and holds up his ring.
Oh, right. You can just if you could just ask Mara if she knows of a way to bring a print weaver back. We have like supplies. I believe you have supplies, right? Something maybe.
Kaida will attempt to send a message. It's like, we've avenged the death of a print weaver, but we need to know if there's any way to recover beyond the traditional ink.
Mara tells you she doesn't know, she'll need to do some research and she'll get back to you. And we can resolve this between sessions.
Kaida responds verbatim.
Stiff, what are you doing? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Ira.
Oh, one last thing before I'm going to look at the three magicians and I'm going to go, this looks bad for you. I can't promise that you won't die. And that's all I say.
The reality of the situation dawns upon them. Stiff, what are you doing?
Stiff is in the adjacent corner, just watching.
Their eyes do eventually flick towards you, occasionally. You're terrifying. You're all terrifying, but you're terrifying in a way that is just so cold. Is there anything else anyone would like to do before we end the session?
Once everything calms
I do,
down.
but it's after.
Okay, that's fine. Sorry, go ahead, Kaida.
Once everything calms down, Kaida's shoulders will relax. His face will become softer. And then he'll look over at Shibu. He says, "Don't worry. Everything will be fine."
Stiff?
It depends on how long Kaida and Ira stay in the room.
Kaida would leave and start talking to Shibu about his day. Not his day, but like, I'm hungry. I need food.
I am going to take one last look at this three fledglings. And like I said, I can't make any promises about, what happens. But sometimes consequences come, even if you didn't know the full, the full impact of the damage that you're causing. See ya. Oh, and I put one donut hole in front of him, sort of like a last and then I leave.
Stiff?
Man, I wasn't ready for that.
I think that is very poetic, very stand-up. As Stiff approaches, he steps on one of the donut holes, and you hear that dry being unsheathed. And as the sword unsheathes, mortar comes out from the ring, and the next noise is just wet and feathers flapping.
And in a hole in the ground, covered with fabric of variety of hues and patterns, a traveler cries, and her hands, full of minutiae and lines of her print marks, turn completely black as despair turns into life and a new print weaver is born. And that's where we're going to end the session. Hi, everybody. That was a very intense and dark session this time.
Jesus.
And we're just going to keep going from here on out. But thank you,
Very
everyone.
intense indeed.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us for session 3 of Print Weaver. We're going to go around, say, hey, who we are, where you can find us. Let's go in the opposite direction this time, starting with Vin.
Hi guys, again, I'm Vin at VinVoxVay on Twitter. All of my things are on that Twitter, casting for me, other shows, and casting calls for you, for both tabletop and voice acting if you ever want to get involved. And that's me.
Glyza?
Hey, I'm Glyza. I go by they, them. You can find all of the stuff that I'm in by just going to bio.link/classical Glyza to see my schedule. I update it weekly. Tomorrow I will be at a charity stream where I'll be playing Masks at twitch.tv/Tavernaut. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. But everything else you can really just find by going to bio.link/classicalgliza, or just going to look for @classicalgliza everywhere on the socials, but especially on Twitter, because that's where I make all of my announcements, all the things I'm into and what I'm doing, and also a lot of funny. Well, I think they're funny. I think I'm hilarious. Stuff on like shit posts and things. If that's something that you're into, go ahead and follow me @classicalgliza, and that's it. Hey. Oh, and I played Ira, the one who has died many, 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 many times, but does not understand death really. So
Lamar.
Top of the morning to you, lots, lasses, both and neither. My name's Lamar the Con Guy. I go by he, him. You can find me on Lamar the Con Guy on all social medias: Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, your mother's Facebook, whatever. I'm about to go breathe before I have my band. We're performing at the Rock Brewery up in Upland, California. Much different energy than we're leaving right now. Upbeat 70s, 80s, 90s, and today music. Beyond that, you can find me on several things. So please follow my Twitter for all the things that I'll be doing, because I'm on a new show on Wednesdays where we're playing the Leverage tabletop RPG for Open Circuit Studios. So make sure you check that out. I'm here for a few more Saturdays playing this lovely game with these lovely people. And oh yeah, I'm playing Kaida, the most lovable himbo of all time.
Also very insightful at moments.
Hey, high wisdom, low intelligence. He doesn't know why things are terrible, but he knows that things are terrible.
And hello, everybody. My name is Mary. You can find me on Twitter @Archmage of Dice. I will be GMing this lovely session for somewhere between 2 and 3 more games for this coming Saturday. You can also find me on Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern Time on Valdrian's channel playing Avatar Legends game called Smoke and Ashes. And we have channel stuff. We have two or three more sessions of Demon's Creek on Sundays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, which is our all POC Urban Shadows Wild West game. And on Mondays, we have our Mind and the Martyr D&D 5e game at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And on Thursdays, every other Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we have Camp Carnage, our Monster of the Week campaign, which I hear is very queer and disaster and scary, and it's really good. What we're going to do is we're going to go raid D&D Jordan Lee, who is playing a game of D&D called Ampistrano. So everyone, please go give them some love over there. And we will see you next week. Bye.